And good evening, folks, and welcome back out to Walk-Ons on another beautiful Thursday night. Football weather as the temperatures get to cooling off a little bit, and I certainly love to see that. Wasn't long ago we were complaining about it's so hot out here, and now we're all bundled up.
I don't know who was doing that.
I don't either.
Oh, I didn't know it was you. I'm sorry. I wouldn't have said anything.
Look,
Wouldn't have said anything.
no, these two
I
down here
thought
on
he
the
was.
ends
I
of it.
thought he was saying like.
But they're the ones that set their thermostats on about 60 through and I can't.
It felt awesome.
Oh, he's
yesterday.
thinking about Jason. Mine stays on 74.
Okay, all
He's
right,
thinking
there
about
we have it.
Jason and Brett.
At
so.
any rate, enough of the housekeeping early on. Thursday night means it is time for the Thomas Bachman Show, live here at Walk-Ons, brought to you by Sadler's Towing. Coach, I've told you. What's missing is the big truck that's out there. Normally, the big Sadler's Towing truck is out back, and I don't see it back there, so I'm off. But another great crowd, full house tonight. Good to see everybody in the house. Everybody's eating, and so it's kind of a low roar out there. But needless to say, I'm Doug Gann. That is Nick Magnano. Coach Thomas Bachman joins us here. Easy for me to say. Look, you'd think this is probably one of those weeks.
I've been called a lot worse.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been struggling since the minute that I've got here today. It's a big show tonight. Took care of business against West Monroe. Congratulations on what was a hard-fought, well-executed, and well-played ball game.
Yep, very proud of the boys. Very proud of the coaches. Found a way to win.
You know, as much build-up as we wanted to make about it. It's been a long time since ASH has beat West Monroe in regular season. Of course, we know the last time was 20 when it was the postseason, and we'll take that. But they had a different approach to it this year, is that it wasn't West Monroe week. It was week 6. And that may be something that we've always put on there. But you guys just went out there and handled it from a business approach.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know that, there's a certain level of joy and excitement when you win a ball game like that. And our kids certainly, enjoyed it and deserve to enjoy it.
Right.
When you win those big ones and something like some of the ones that we've already played this year. I've said it on this show and every show and everything I've ever done. I have a ton of respect for that community and that program and what they've done over the past 3 decades.
Right.
And, we've been battling there for a long time. Been in the game in the fourth quarter and come up short for whatever reason many times over the last 5-6 years. And so, just proud of the kids, proud of the coaches, proud of the fact that when it came winning time, when we made the plays down the stretch, that helped us. Secure the win. And so, I mean, that's the biggest thing. And, I think back to that situation, I can still see the look in the kids' eyes, after we took that lead. After we went down, offensively,
Right.
I think there was, all right, let's go get it back. Really, first time we had trailed all night was when they took the lead.
35-31 was the first part.
Able to go right back down and score with about 4 minutes to go. And, you know, we were kind of reeling a little bit on defense just from personnel that we had lost that, we're suffering from different injuries and broke hands and rolled ankles
Right.
and, just different things and getting, shuffling the deck in the lineup of, all right, what 11 are we putting out there? But, there was a look in the kids' eyes of that they wanted the moment. And those are the things where, the defense wants to be in the situation, the offense or whatever group it is that's taking the field, like they can't wait to have the pressure put on them. And, you kind of got a little bit of that feeling the other night and, they were able to deliver.
One of the things that has stood out, and that's the second time really in the other games you kind of had a good shot at it going through there. But you go back to that Opelousas game as well, and you got down right at the end. And it wasn't a look on anybody's face except, okay, let's go down there and let's go win this game. That's all you saw.
Yep, still time on the clock. Let's go play.
Nick, you saw just the heart you talked about in that too. Give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, just when you're that evenly matched and everything, really at the end, it's the will. It's who wants it more. I made a comment thinking that you may at the end there may try to kick the field goal and then try to stop them, and you still would have been down, but you guys punched it in, and then we were like, ooh, now we got to hold them, and your defense, ooh, what a stop,
They were great.
what a stop.
No, it was going to be all 4 downs, and if they were gonna have to drive the length of the field with no timeouts. Was the thing. There was never a discussion of kicking a field goal. Obviously did an extremely poor job of managing coming out of a timeout. We screw up a personnel grouping and, get a penalty with 5 in the backfield and an illegal motion. Just a poor job. Can't waste that failure and got to do a good job, better job. Telling the kids I have to do a better job of making sure we're all on the same page when we come out of a timeout like that. But on fourth down, there was a lot of thought that went into, okay, what player are we fixing to call? And I know that we were bleeding that play
Right.
clock, letting it run down, and everybody was kind of in a little bit of a, okay, no, trust me, there was tons of things that were rolling through my mind. And, how about we give it to the best player on the field one more
It
time?
it
And
almost looked like that chaos played into our hands that time because as much there was a little bit of standing around. You're looking at the play clock and it's bleeding down to 3 and 2 and getting there, and West Monroe standing around a little bit too. You get JT when nobody's paying attention. He's good when everybody's paying attention, but if there's a little bit of unsettling, he's going to do exactly what he
it
did.
was a great play. Tanner had a great block on that. I have a ton of respect for number 18. I probably should call his name, but I don't know his name. I just know their numbers. And he's a heck of a player, and he's been a heck of a player for a lot of years for them. Like, I mean, he's been one of those that you've been game planning and,
Right.
making sure you're accounting for each and every play. And Tanner does a great job of just, getting him covered up, and he does a good job of containing it. JT puts his foot in the ground and gets in that seam. Jacoby's pulling around and helps us clean the corner up there to get the ball in the end zone. It was really nice job by those guys, there at the point of attack.
And then your defense
Yeah,
shuts them down after that.
yep,
What a stop!
wanted the moment. Jordan Mason makes the huge play on first down, and you mentioned the Opelousas game. When they score to take the lead. Uh, I can't remember. I think it was the last 2-point play. Jordan's in there battling his tail off, splitting a double team against Opelousas, and you could point back and say, hey, the 2-point plays
Right.
were the difference in the game. Now we were able to go just score, and now we're ahead. And so Jordan makes a huge play on first down. They try and get us with very similar thing that we hit Tanner on the seam with, where they empty out, get you to adjust with some safeties, and they're trying to get the tight end vertical. Simon's able to get off the edge and
Right.
get a little bit of contact, and X is kind of underneath, and every coach on the sideline is just tight end, trying to like tight end, do not fall asleep
That's right.
on the tight end. And Jay does a good job of trying to stay over the top of it. But the contact out of Cortez makes the ball sail. Jackson and Trey and Jordan pursued on the screen was a
Yeah.
really nice job. And then, of course, X, getting through and
X
sacking him on
was
fourth down
X was
was
just
huge.
X. What did he have, Nick? 17 tackles?
I didn't get the defensive stats,
I'll
but
get
yeah,
Coach
I had
AJ
him.
to get them for you.
I had him down for 15, but I mean, I probably missed a couple
That
for
gives
sure.
him mid
Yeah.
80s, and what a segue. Southern Air Heating and Cooling does our Southern Air Cool Play of the game, and we're looking around at some defining moments in here, trying to find one play that did it, and it was a toss-up between two plays.
Okay.
One of them was the fourth down fake punch stop from X, where he goes right there and he just arm
Huge
tackles
play.
a guy
Yep.
and brings him down. Because if he doesn't hold on to get him to the ground, that cat's
First
headed.
down, yeah.
He's off and going. And the second was X and that big play right at the end of the game where he goes through there, doesn't get a good lick on the guy, but gets enough thrown off to say, hey, and he goes down.
Would you choose?
I'm a slacker.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at it here on the screen. So this is the week 6 cool play of the game, and you can look at it, Coach, and this is the
It's
punt
huge.
return.
Yep. It was
And
huge.
so maybe that's the one I chose.
The exact spot they were on the other hash, going the same direction. It was in the first half that they faked this similar down and distance last year.
But maybe I couldn't decide between the two,
So you
and
just
we
went
went
off.
with both of them.
Hey,
That's right.
no
yeah, we went participation trophies, Coach. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
We couldn't
No,
we
I mean
couldn't make a decision.
it was a fun moment. Can't see the sideline necessarily, but I mean those are the things that really bring me as much joy as the women. The winning is just the the how engaged our players are and how much it means to them. Obviously the win is a lot of fun, and you get a lot of joy. But it's the seeing the kids have success and their hard work paying off. Because sometimes it doesn't. You work your tail off and you come up a little bit short, and you got to go back to work and you got to continue to work. But to see the everybody's
Yeah. Oh,
on,
they're all in.
yeah, they're on the they're not on their seat, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, they're just totally involved in,
And there
what's going on.
there were a number of tremendous plays in there, but the impact that those two
Yeah,
plays had, I think, just did it. One thing, Coach, and this is me. This isn't anybody else's opinion on there. But when we looked at some of the practices prior to, I guess, the Jamboree, one of the things that I questioned was, how's this team going to handle all of these non-district games and then the physicality of a district that they're going to run into? Man, these guys are playing physical football. It started off with, what was it, 42 Parker Todd that came in there on the kickoff and just was
punt. Yeah,
the punt and
return,
just
yeah.
this was a fist fight is what this was, and your guys went toe to toe.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the kids embracing, what these games are in District 2-5A, and you could argue what they've been since we put a ball down and scrimmaged Acadiana, and the
Right.
quality of program and level of physicality that team plays with. But that's what it is. That's what the football is going to be at this level. Not to But it's just, everybody's playing football. Not everybody's playing the same game. I mean,
Right.
it's just a different level of athlete with size and speed, and I'm proud of our kids to this point in the year that they've embraced it and continued to work. The great thing about this, and the thing that everybody needs to understand, as great as some of the moments have been so far in this early season, is we're not even at the halfway point.
That's right.
And so,
A lot of folks don't understand that statement.
just
That's right.
well, keep your head
That's
down
exactly right.
and continue to work, and I'm said it several times here, and I say it every year to the kids, is favorite time of year is now. The newness is
Yeah.
worn off, and now it's about your daily discipline and really what you're after, and being able to trade what you ultimately want for the moment, because you got to discipline yourself on some of these days to go do what you have to do when you want to just drift through practice and get on autopilot. Like that's not going to get us where we want to be with with the next Friday night, a rivalry game coming tomorrow night, some huge physical top 10,
Right.
games coming. You have to embrace each and every week. And we'll see. Would say so far to this point, we have done that. Now we're going to have to continue to do that. But no, I'm certainly proud, to get to say that I coach these young men.
It reminds me a lot of the movie. I don't know, was it Facing the Giants or whatever it is? He's got the guy bear crawling with the guy on his back, and he said, "Tim, just a little bit further and a little bit further." And that's the idea. They're keeping their heads down and they're continuing to fight. I don't even know how far they're getting towards the goal line.
That's right. You always got more in the tank than you think you do. You got to defeat your mind. Can't let it tell you when just one more step, one more day, one more play. Just stay in the fight, and we're certainly going to have to embrace that as we move forward. I mean, and not to transition, but that'll be the case tomorrow night.
That's right.
I mean, it's going to be one play at a time. Don't let the results of the previous play, good or bad,
Right.
affect the next play. I think that the tendency, human nature, is you've had some success and you think that you're going to continue to have success. So maybe you get complacent or you get relaxed. And, you have to remember what put you in the situation, or put you in a position to have success. It's the work, it's the attention to detail, it's the relentless attitude of making sure I'm paying attention in meetings, and on the practice field, I'm continuing to sharpen and refine my skills so that we can continue to perform at a high level when it's time to kick it off on Friday night. And I think that I mean, everybody wants to put things on the kids all the time. The kid,
Right.
that can come from adults too. It's very important, because all they're doing is feeding off of us, and the attention to detail and the energy and
Right.
the urgency of the moment that we are presenting to them. And so I think that we have a tremendous responsibility to model the behavior that we want
Right.
out of our players. And I'm very fortunate in that regard, that we have the staff that we have, and these guys. Mercer was describing, and he was talking to somebody else about the potential to coming to Ash one day versus, I don't know where you are, if you're comfortable of all that. But he said, every day, there's a level of anxiety that I have when I go to work, and it's a good anxiety.
That's
It
right.
keeps me stretched and growing, but
Mhm.
that it's going to be on, and there's things that are going to be demanded of me, uh, and not from an internal, like he's going to demand of himself. And I thought that in just a small couple of words, I thought that he described like exactly what we want to be as a program, is that there's a level of anxiety showing up to work, showing up to workouts every day, that, hey, I'm not fixing to slide by. My best is going to be demanded
Complacency
from
is
me.
what'll kill
Yeah.
you.
So, we'll see. As we said 5 minutes ago, not even the halfway point. So let's continue to play.
Well, Coach, before we move on from that, the Destrehan game after that, I made the comment that you guys looked like they knew that they could win. They were going to win. Friday night, once again, some excitement, but nothing that was crazy. But talk about the embrace that you had with your dad when your dad
Yeah,
came over.
that's fun. I
That
mean,
was, I
that's
was glad I was there to see
yeah,
that. That was
that's
that was
fun.
good.
That's fun. Been there. I learned so much, and to share those moments. And it's the first one he's been able to make this year, and a lot of fun. Left me a little note on my desk that I saw whenever uh, right before I went home after he had already gone, and those are special moments,
And the
and
towel too.
that's right. Gave me his towel.
You gonna have that this Friday?
I,
I don't. Okay, we won't ask those questions. We don't want to know. Yeah, that's
No,
right.
that's how
That's a trademark of his.
that's
That's
his
right.
trademark. That's his
Well, that's
trademark.
what he said whenever I was talking to him while you were being interviewed. He said, "I don't care what he says tonight. He
That's
said, I
right.
don't care what he says. He's taking it tonight."
Yeah, and I did. I took
So,
that with me.
yeah,
Look,
so
it was up there in the press box when you brought it
Yeah,
up. Tremendous game. Security Sporting Goods takes care of our player of the game on there. Trojans are 6-0, and this young man, this player of the game tonight, has 3 of those. He has put on quite a show. Goes over 200 yards, carries the ball 34 times for 227. That puts him at 1,027 on the year. 3 touchdowns. None other than JT Lindsay that is on there. So big congratulations
very
out to
deserving.
JT.
Very
It,
deserving.
and look, I sit here and I say, look,
A lot of kids made a lot of huge plays. I mean, he carried a huge percentage of the
that's right.
load, and he wants it on his shoulders. But I'm very proud of a lot of the moments. Darius and Jimmy made some huge plays.
But he'll be the first one to tell you, and we've talked to him so many times on the show, he'll be the first one to tell you that it's because of these guys that he's having the success that he has.
Yep, he's raised right. His mom's awesome.
Look, she is amazing, and he don't duck out of
And
bounds no
he's
more.
awesome. He's awesome. I mean, he's very. We got a lot of incredible kids.
We do, and recognizing some of them now. Express Professional, Express Pros Employment. They give our outstanding lineman award, and Peyton Hobbs is the winner of that. Just got after it down there, made a couple of big plays himself that really stood out.
That's
But
right.
was eating up double teams and plugging things up and just doing the work that the junior needed to do.
Continuing to grow each week with every day and every game. He just continues to grow, and needs to continue to embrace that. We have very high expectations, and high standards for him, and he'd probably tell you that sometimes it feels like, hey, but uh no, very proud of him, very proud of the progress that he's made, and really anxious to see ultimately the type of player that he's going to turn himself into before that's all said and done with his ASH career.
Absolutely, and a lot of work to do before this one is completed. When we come back, Coach, let's go ahead and talk to maybe a couple of the players. I know you've got Coach Ham in the house too. We'll visit with him some also. We still got time to make it. We're not even halfway through the show. You can make it out to walk-ons here where we're at on a beautiful, beautiful Thursday evening. A little bit chilly out there, but the hoodies are out, and man, it keeps the mosquitoes away, so that's always good. I'm still covered up from about 2 weeks ago with the mosquito bites, but what do you do? I'm gonna tough it out, and we're gonna be there tomorrow. That ain't no mosquito bites. I'm not.
It's going to be cool tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Good. It's time.
It'll be just like this tomorrow night. So
Perfect.
we're looking
Love it.
forward to it, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back when we come back. I believe Tanner is here. I think Vaughn is
Yep.
here. Coach Ham is here. We'll talk to all of them. You are watching the Thomas Bachman Show, brought to you by Sadler's Towing, live here at Walk-Ons on 446 Sports.
happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
This month, as we gather with the ones we love, let's take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in our lives. When it comes to protecting what matters most, trust those who care about your family as much as you do.
I'm Jason Hawk, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm here to help you protect what you hold dear.
Whether auto, home, or life, have peace of mind knowing that your family is covered today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Just haven't met you yet. I might have to wait, I'll never give up. I guess it's half timing and the other half's luck. Wherever you are, whenever it's right, you'll come out of nowhere and into my life. And I know that we can be so amazing.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
We are back live to Walk-Ons on a Thursday night, getting ready for Week 7 action. Excited about these two young men, two of the most physical players that are on a very physically driven team. Tanner Townsend and Vaughn Darbone are on there. Vaughn, and I've probably butchered your last name more than anybody's. I've called you Darbone. I've called you Darbone. Let's clear the record right now. Which time am I correct?
Darbone.
Darbone.
Yes.
Okay, so I've been around it. That's good. As long as we keep calling that name, that's what I'm talking about. So number 20 and number 85, if you're not familiar with it, but if you're not familiar with it, then I don't know why you're watching us. But anyway, glad you found us. We talked about physicality on there. Tanner, you've played H-back, you've played on the line, you've played tight end, you've played all around that. Give these guys some insight on the physicality that offensive unit is playing with this year.
Well, it's kind of the same thing that we've always been doing. It's kind of Coach Bachman's favorite saying is you can, the execution doesn't matter, scheme doesn't matter if you're not physical. And so every day at practice, we go out there and we hit. Doesn't matter the day, we hit. I mean, I've thought of myself as a sixth offensive lineman most
mentioned
weeks.
that.
Yeah, it's just physical, and that's kind of what we like to do. I mean, there's no easier way to move the ball than going and hitting somebody across the face.
Look, even the running backs, and Vaughn, you bring that into a game. You guys, there's no easing out of bounds. You're looking for somebody to hit. Where does that mentality come from?
It's just running backs over time, like playing that position so long, is just a hunger to go hit somebody, really.
Look, indeed it is. And I think that people don't expect the type of running back that they're going to get when you come to the game. I mean, it's no secret that they're looking at JT, and it is. But even JT will say it too. When you come in there, it's not a bit of a letdown at all. You're coming in there and pounding away just like anybody
Oh,
is.
yes, sir. Gotta bring it through. I gotta like to fight for them extra yards.
Look, y'all definitely do that, Tanner. We saw you, and it was there are a couple of times that looks like you're carrying 2 or 3 guys with you as you're not wanting to get down on a pass catch because we know the Trojans never throw to the tight end. We made that mention several times last year on all the touchdowns you were getting, but I mean, guys won't go down.
Yeah, I know exactly which plays you're talking about last year,
Right.
Brother Martin. I don't even know. There's nothing going through my head that I can remember. It's just
Except there's the end zone.
just run, and I mean, they're trying to tackle me, and I'm not even thinking about it.
Right.
Just keep on going.
Look, this year, ball not getting to you as much, but you're doing a lot of other things on there too. Had one that was called back on a tremendous run a couple of weeks ago, and then you come out and you get the one this week. So it had to feel good to get back in the end zone.
Yeah, it's been a long year. Been kind of waiting for it the
Look,
past couple weeks.
well, it was good to see. Vaughn, tell me about the way this offensive unit, the offensive line, because we go back, and we mentioned that to Coach Bachman ahead of time. If there was going to be something we were concerned about, was going to be that offensive line and just them gelling and getting together. And every week, they get making it easier and easier on you guys.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just took a little time, really, just building that camaraderie together, being close, getting together and everything. And just over time, that just build them stronger.
They mentioned the word chemistry, that they're learning each other a little bit more. I think the number one thing that is being, I don't know if it's learned because you guys just experience it so well, is if you're getting the ball, JT doesn't mind, Darius doesn't mind, Jimmy doesn't mind. If you're coming out throwing the ball all the time, they don't mind. If you're blocking and H-backing the whole time, I don't think you care as long as you guys are sitting at 6-0. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Look, it's been a lot of fun. It's been we've compared that Friday night game to a fist fight. You guys went 10 rounds, and that's not saying anything in wake of some games that actually had fights in it. You guys just went toe to toe with another one of those big time 2-5A teams.
Yeah, no, that was a fun game. That's
Right.
what it was. I mean, it's stressful going out there, being on the field, knowing that, I mean, if you mess up or y'all screw up a drive, that, we could lose the game. But those guys they were really, really well coached. They were physical. It was fun to play against them.
We talked about it, Vaughn, about a mindset that you guys have. You go back to that Opelousas game, you're behind at the end. We're like, okay, but we still getting the ball, and we're going to go down there and score. Is there ever a time you get on the field that you guys don't think you can score?
Not at all. It's engraved in us. Coach made sure he got that in our head. And we know that for a fact as a team, and we're going to get it done.
The number of clean drives that end in points, is got to be 80-90%. I mean, you guys are scoring short of taking a knee at the end of a half or something like that. It's just incredible, and it's like you don't know anything else but to go out there and score.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What do you attribute the success of that offensive unit to? Because you've got a couple of sophomore quarterbacks who are doing tremendous in both the rights and both bring a different element to the game. You've got some younger players, but the veterans that are out there doing a good job. How has that been able to be as successful as it is?
Just still being together, teamwork, just getting to know who you are, your personnel, and everybody's out there knowing who could do what, and just believing in the players, and we go from there.
So let's go back to, gosh, I guess it was a week prior to the Jamboree. We came out to a couple of practices, and it had not gelled at that point. It had not. I think it was between the Acadiana scrimmage and the Jamboree that was coming. And Tanner, I'll take you back to a certain Coach Bachman was getting after it. He was especially, and he was on you and some of these other senior leaders that are out there, and somebody that wasn't as mentally tough and understand what's going on might have let it get them. But you guys just got stronger. Do you remember those practices?
Oh, I remember those. Those they come around every year. It's everyone fresh into the season. It's all new. But I mean, he just wants us to be pick right back up where we were, and he knows what our potential, how we can play, and he expects us to play that physical every single play.
And Vaughn, when somebody's not, it doesn't seem like there's any finger pointing or any of that. It's just going out and picking the next guy up. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. We gotta make sure we stay on top of each other because we all know the standards, so there's no point in being lesser than that, really.
All right. So the interviews that we've done, we've either had a couple of offensive guys, we've had a couple of defensive guys. We've not had offense and defense on here because I know you guys battle all week. How is it going? Because that defense has gotten pretty physical and they're solid. How has it made you better going against that defense day in and day out?
A lot better, really. They're gonna bring it every day, especially X. That's one person everybody know coming. It don't matter what time of day it is, he ready. And just knowing you gotta war up, you gotta be ready to go against those players because them type of players we play throughout the season.
Tanner?
Oh yeah, same thing. I mean, there's not much any team that knows our stuff better than them. It's like I'm fighting against someone that can read our mind. They know the plays based off how we line up, but I think that just makes us all better.
And Merce and that group aren't going to take it easy on y'all.
No,
They're
no,
not
no,
going
no.
to. No, we've talked about that a lot. That they don't do that. So here we are. Coach Bachman talks about the middle of the season. There's a lot of season to go on there. Last week we talked in the past, and it made good for announcer talk to say, well, it was Westminster week. Last week was simply week 6. It was the next opponent. How do you guys stay focused knowing that, it is the toughest district in the state and you do have your best football ahead of you, but to know that week 6 is over, now it's week 7, and pretty soon that'll be over with, but just to stay focused on what's right in front of you.
Oh, well, I mean, week to week, no matter who our opponent is, I think the coaches, they make a point of hammering it into our head that no matter what, no matter who they are, they've always got a shot if we go out there and we don't put our best foot forward. And that if we don't play to our standards, to the standards that we set, then, I mean, anything can happen with who we play.
How do you stay up to those standards, Vaughn? What do you guys bring into a game each and every week, whether it's Pineville, whether it's Ruston, whether it's Neville, Washington, whoever the case may be? And you get ready and say, you know what, they're getting our best effort tonight.
Really, because we all know we all have one goal in mind. That's to make it to the dome. That's a ultimate goal here and everything we're doing.
All right, so when you guys are offense and you go over there and you get finished watching the camera in the plays from the week before, do you ever sneak a peek and watch that defense and watch them work? I know you battle against them, but you talk about X going out and seeing him just blow things up.
Yeah, I mean, I remember last week, I think it was their last drive, we needed to stop bad. And I don't even think we went and watched film. Like, I remember everyone was engaged, everyone on the sideline. And I mean, they make those plays. It's like, I mean, it's never like we've gone against them. These guys are our best friends, and they're fighting right with us.
Look, and that is so great to see. It spills over to special teams. I mean, everybody is playing as united football, I think, that I've seen in a long, long time. So kudos to both of you guys. Looking forward to a big one tomorrow night. Certainly appreciate you coming out and being a part of the show tonight. As always, it's good seeing you. Keep on just, I love watching you guys play.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. Tanner Townsend, Vaughn Darvon joining us tonight, 85-20, and you'll see big nights from them before this season is over again and again. Guys, don't go anywhere. When we come back, I think we're going to visit with Coach Ham and see how he's transitioned from you guys. Y'all, he brought a little of that spirit with him, huh?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
No, we're not going anywhere yet. All right. So tell me, no, we're not going anywhere yet.
Okay.
You guys got pretty excited about Coach. Tell me a little bit about what he brings, because I know what he brought as a player. So what does he bring as a coach?
As a coach, great coach. He be with the freshmen most of the time, but we hear him over there every day, all day. We know he getting on them by making sure they doing things right and making them better players over time. Make sure they come through just as good as us, really.
That's right, and I think he's a spillover from that Severio and Bachman and those guys and Merce that would they would bring it, and Ham has that mentality. He comes in and it's all about getting them better because he knows what people expected of him.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I think. If I were to go through and I were to come back and be an assistant coach, like I think that's exactly what I'd be doing. I'd know what I went through and the standards that needs to be met, and I think I'd do the same thing.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, now we'll get out of here. We will be back. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll visit with Coach Ham. We'll get Nick back in here. We'll talk a little bit about that. Freshman and JB had a big week, played a couple of games. We'll talk about all of that when we come back. This is the Thomas Bachman Show live from Walk-Ons, brought to you by Sadler's Towing, right here on 446 Sports.
At Wallace Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible, so if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared.
Nick took on a burger, Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy, and speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah, head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
This month, as we gather with the ones we love, let's take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in our lives. When it comes to protecting what matters most, trust those who care about your family as much as you do.
I'm Jason Hawk, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm here to help you protect what you hold dear.
Whether auto, home, or life, have peace of mind knowing that your family is covered today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
We are back. It is the Thomas Bachman Show live from Walk-Ons here on a Thursday night, brought to you by Sadler's Towing. Sitting down with my man, returning
Oh,
to
yeah.
the headset, Coach Ham. Coach, what's going on?
Nothing much, just enjoying it, loving it.
Look, the last time we were here, you were getting ready for a game. It wasn't Coach Ham at that point. He was just playing. What year did you graduate? It's been
2020.
Yeah,
So
it's-
2019 season.
That's right. That's right. So, man, hot dog, you're getting old. I don't know what that means about me. But Coach Nick wasn't around at that time.
No.
But one thing that I've told him, and it didn't take me but one practice to realize the emotion that you brought back with you from that time that you were here. Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. So, it's just a.
Keep talking. You're good.
Okay. It's just like a passion, like inside, just what I know I poured into it, to the program and everything. What I know my buddies poured into the program. I want to pour that into the program as a coach and to the next generation of the team and everything like that. So while they standing on the shoulders of what the people before me built and what I helped build and my teammates helped build, they can start building their own thing,
How is it being on the other side of the let's see how I can use this the correcting when you're out there because I mean the day that you were there, of course, the bulk of these coaches, Severio's gone in that group, but I mean that was the exact same thing that was being poured into you guys. But now you're able to go out there and put that in. And I'll tell you something that a couple of players that were on there that Tanner and Vaughn had to say about that in just a minute too. But now that you're able to go out there and teach instead of receive.
You know, the biggest thing is like, do you have somebody that's going to receive it?
Right.
And not just like take it in, but somebody that's going to absorb it. And you know, like with the freshman guys that we got up front and everything, those group of guys, like they want to learn, they want to get better, they keep showing up, and they want to learn more, and they keep absorbing it.
Have they ever had to come up and say, dial it down? They're freshmen.
Coach B told me one time, he said, "All right, to make it easy, this like beginning of summer, he said, take it easy. We know we don't want to lose the ball."
Did they ever take it easy on you? Okay, so don't run them off. There you go. Now you guys had a tremendous week this week. Played a couple of games, I think, on there too. That had to be unique.
You know, we had Monday night against Pineville. Was a great night with the freshmen and everything. Then Wednesday night we had to go down to Lafayette for St. Thomas More. Just a good chance to see how we match up and everything, just in the future and everything wise. Matched up well, and our guys competed. I told them before the game, I said, it's not much we can go out here and dictate, but it's one thing we can dictate, and that's our effort. We got to go out there and play with 120% effort.
Okay, I watched the stat. I got the stats on all of it too. Per capita, there's more unsportsmanlike penalties in the Monday night games than there are in the Friday night games. What's going on?
You know, I guess it's a smart thing to get it out the way for the week on a Monday night, you know, because Friday night it's going to be counting for the big ball game, you know, everything like that. But, you know, it's just showing the passion that we got and how we care about the kids that's playing on those Monday nights too.
Well, you notice that Doug said that when Coach Bachman wasn't sitting there anymore, for the record. But no, for me, you know, I'm new to ASH football. You know, last year, what did you play when you were at ASH? What position?
Offensive line.
Okay, offensive lineman. Okay, and you went to school. Did you
Yes, sir.
did you play in school or did you?
No,
Okay,
sir. No, sir.
okay,
I did a year down at LSU.
Okay.
And then I transferred back home to LSU and graduated last January.
Let me tell you, as spirited as he is on the field, catch him at a game in the fort when LSUA basketball is playing, and look, there's Ham. There he is. You know right where he's at. You bring that intensity. It looked like you had a lot of fun out there.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like even through LSUA, we had got tickets for LSU football.
Right.
So, so I was same guy there. Same guy there. You know, I try to help lead the student section there.
Look, you fit right in. You did a fantastic job with it. That's Phil. All right, all of that aside, knowing what you went through there, man, you're back here coaching with some of the greats on there.
Oh yeah,
it's got to feel good. Tell me about that.
Most definitely like a blessing for sure.
Right.
Just the opportunity to learn from some great guys and just be poured into by some great guys, so I can be able to pour it out into the next people. You know, like I heard it like this. You know, if you want to be able to pour your cup out, you still need to have a pitcher pouring into you.
Look, that is no truer words. What do you say is your ability to relate, because you are a little bit closer in age to them. You're not far from coming out of that same locker room as these guys. Does that make it easier for you to relate to some of these younger guys?
For the most part, yeah. But like, you know, we got guys that's about to go play at the next level and everything, and guys that have the opportunity to go play at the next level. So like, I tell them, man, like, if the way you carry yourself in warm-ups, the way you carry yourself throughout workouts and everything like that, it reflects, it translates. So you want to give your all in that, because I got buddies, Doze, Jacobian, Coach, Judd, Shield, that's playing at the next level. So I know what they go through on a daily basis. So I can tell them that every day.
How about Judd and that Player of the Week
Oh, yeah.
thing? Isn't
You know,
that,
Judd,
I don't think anybody doubted that.
Judd doing stud things, you know.
It's always Judd to say, it goes back to that Natchitoches Central game when it was the first game that he came in and played. I said, watch, he's going to be a special one, and in fact he was. There's
Oh,
no
yeah.
doubt. But he had some dudes blocking for him. Let me tell you that
Oh, yeah.
he had it. So well, that's it. You still keep up with everybody.
Oh yeah, we all for the most part met up this weekend at the LSU game.
There you go.
Went checked on
That's
Jacoby and
scary.
everything.
Yeah, I mean, nobody has fought harder than he has and was really poised. And any thoughts on what he does next year?
I have a feeling he's gonna be back and he's gonna be back and better.
And he's going to
Doing
be in
big
the
things,
league
you know?
after a great year. There's no
No
doubt
doubt.
about that. The dude's he's worked hard for it without a doubt.
Yes.
So, Sam, we appreciate you sitting in with us tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Love the
Thank y'all.
spirit that you bring out here. There's never a time when I believe they're going to say, "Man, what's wrong with him? Why is he so down?" I just don't see that in your makeup.
Yes, sir.
There you
Thank
go.
y'all.
Dylan Hamilton joins us here. Coach Ham, you'll hear him called, and excited this year. When we come back, I think we've got a special treat for you. Look, you're the only ones had a cheering section over here. Nobody else gets the cheering section.
The fans, the fans love me.
You'll be lined up signing autographs later. Is that what it is?
No, I'm gonna leave that to the big man.
Leave it to there you go. Guys, we'll be back. Think we've got a special treat for you when we come back. Don't go anywhere. This is the Thomas Bachman Show, brought to you by Sadler's Towing right here on 446 Sports.
Looking for somewhere different for lunch? La Bistro Coffee and Waffle Bar is a gourmet espresso bar and restaurant with an emphasis on Southern social experience, featuring a wide variety of salads, soups, sandwiches, and of course waffles. La Bistro has something for everyone and every lifestyle. Whether you are meeting friends, spending time with family, or hosting a private party, we offer a dining experience all will enjoy. La Bistro Coffee and Waffle Bar on Coliseum Boulevard.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
And we are back, and I told you we'd have a special treat for you. A couple of weeks, or last week, I guess it was, we said, hey, we're going to have the ASH Trojan cheer out here, and there was like 3. Not saying that the 3 weren't wonderful. I'm telling you, it was great, but I said, and so now, a surprise. Now, I will tell you one thing. The guys that are here, when they come to the show, they're always eating and talking. They never pay attention to what's going on. So I don't know if it's just that interesting of a show or it's you young ladies. I've pretty got a pretty good idea. So what do you have in store for us tonight? Let's cheer. Got it, cheer. All right, I'm going to get out of the way. It's the ASH Trojan cheer. Ladies, take it away.
Trojans, ASH. Trojans, come on, Trojans, ASH. Cheer louder, Trojans, come on, Trojans, ASH. Let's go, Trojans, ASH.
So it would appear that we're doing 1. Is that right? Okay. I'll have 1 more in you. No. Well, all right. So that's a precursor of it. You got to come out to the games to be able to see everything that's going on. Tremendous job, ladies. Thank you very much for stopping by. We enjoyed it. We'll get Coach Thomas Bachman back in here now, and we'll visit with him. They do a great job. So Nick's going to come back in here in just a minute. I just know that he is. Nick, I think you're good on that now. Hey, bring me up just a tad there, Brett. There you go. That's ASH Trojan Cheer that's joining us there. Coach Bachman will make his way back down here in just a moment. Again, we've recapped the West Monroe game. Trojans are 1-0. Yeah, mute those, and he'll grab them. Trojans are 1-0 in District 2 5A, sit at 6-0 on the season. Been 6-0 once before in the last 4 or 5 years. I think it was 2019. They go 6-0. An opportunity to go 7-0 with a victory tomorrow night, a hard-fought game. Anybody that's seen these Ash and Pineville games know that it is a rivalry game and that anything can happen on there. Coach, how about that, huh?
How about that?
Look, if this doesn't get you fired up for a football game, I don't know what does.
How about that?
How about that? Look, it was interesting talking to
Appreciate
Coach
him being
Ham.
here. And yeah.
Yeah,
And the boys, I heard some of Coach Ham. I didn't get to hear all of the boys. I was back there making the rounds, talking to everybody. There's a lot of people inside eating and just making the rounds, trying to talk to everybody.
The Trojan Takeover on Thursday nights. Look,
It's a lot. There's
it's
a lot
real.
of people here watching the Saints game, but
They played tonight.
I heard a little bit of Ham. I had to jump in. Yeah, I never told you to take it easy on them or whatever it was. I said, hey,
run them, just don't run them.
Run them, don't run them off. You know, and I think there's a fine line. He's done a phenomenal job.
Well, so the guys, there's got to be a sense of believability in him, what he's given to it, because he's been right in the middle of it with all of you guys.
That's right. We kind of laugh sometimes. It's like, oof.
Is this what we're importing on these
Yeah.
kids?
No, I don't know Russo. Y'all know how
Absolutely.
he is. What he's like. Freshman can't wait to deal with Coach Bachman after Ham's done with him. You're a day off compared to he's done a great job, and the kids love him and they play hard for him, and of course we're heavily involved, stand there and coach every rep of the freshman game, but the job that he's done, getting it assembled and the I would say the things that he's taken off of some of our plate allowed us to really kind of, take the next step, hopefully.
And he
as
knows
a program, the
what's
importance
been
of it.
expected
That's
and
right.
what the tradition is.
He lived it. And,
Right.
I mean, it's his program is through and through, and the pride that he has, the job that he's done. No, it's been fun. It's fun to have one of ours, like truly one that played for us, and
I'm not sure who brought it up, but the question did come up about the penalties on Monday night. I'm not certain
Yeah, I heard
if it was
that.
Nick
Yeah,
or me.
I
I
heard
don't
that.
recall because
Yeah,
it
it
was a
was you. I
segment or
heard
two
it. I was
ago.
like,
I don't know. Well, I didn't know the speaker was going in.
and look, some of it I get to thinking about that. It's only been two.
Right.
Think.
Ish, two-ish.
And
But it
we
gets
try to.
he's-
The thing I would say about that is, I mean, obviously we don't need that, and probably should do a better job.
We
of
can get
control.
completely off of this topic. We don't.
No, that's
this
fine. I
was-
do want to address it because it's funny. That you said that. I was sitting over there thinking, okay, all right, where's the ownership in that of where you can't do that? You got to be careful the example that you set. But we're also coaching the freshman game with the same level of intensity and the
exactly
want
right.
to win, and it's not just this is a freshman game. It doesn't matter.
It
Yeah,
matters.
it does.
It matters a lot.
It matters to those kids
'Cause
that
those
work their
guys are
butts
going to
off.
be
It
doing their
matters to
thing.
us. I mean, there's an urgency to perform in the moment, and to put them in good situations, and so we just don't approach it from this isn't important. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
And we try to coach that way, and we're living and dying with every moment in the freshman and JV games, and so we try not to treat them any different than we would a Friday night ball game.
Heck yeah.
And been fortunate that we've had a little bit of success. I mean, we've certainly had some where it hadn't gone our way, and we're gonna stand there and coach the kids through that too.
Right.
So. Got a couple of games left. Go to Ruston on Monday night, and then we'll host Ouachita the following Monday, and that'll wrap up, freshman and JV ball, and give them 8 games, and played a pretty good schedule at this point. It's been fun.
Yeah.
I was going to ask him, but we ran out of time. Has he had that moment with you that Oh, coach, that's why we did this? I mean, has he had that moment yet?
I'm sure he has. I
But
mean,
I just haven't told you.
he'd probably, be able to tell you. We've got such a great. I mean,
Yeah.
Coach Free and Coach Mercer, Coach Russo. He's sitting there with Coach OJ right now. I mean, there's so many people that you can grab and learn from and bounce ideas off. And look, he brings so much to the table. Just him. I mean, he's experienced beyond his years. He's very very intelligent. He was that way as a player. Just
Right.
very high character, very intelligent. Um, he got it as a player leader from day one by example, not necessarily with everything that he says, and he gets it. I don't know how to explain that other than he's a young guy that's got an incredibly bright future. Doing this, and we're fortunate to have him back.
Absolutely, Coach. Transitioning as we
Yep.
as we start to run out of time here, but of course we can go as long as we want to. That goes without saying. Um, the Rebels tomorrow night. You cross the river in one of the biggest games of the season. It's kids that have grown up playing against each other, and they've done all that. What do you say to the fans that have been out en masse this season? That yes, it's a road game, but you're probably closer to a lot of people's house than where you're at to come out and see that game.
Yeah, I think these are the games that are a lot of fun because you have an opportunity to fill up both sides.
Right.
And, we've certainly had some incredible home crowds there, but the ability for their home crowd to be huge and then to fill up the visiting stands because you're in close proximity. Or, we're 15 minutes apart. That's what makes local matchups so exciting. And I
Right.
certainly hope that's the case tomorrow night. That we will travel extremely well across the river. And that their fans will turn out, and it'll be a great Friday night experience. Great atmosphere for the kids to play in, the band, the cheer, just all the things that come along with it. And it's going to be a really good football game. Got a lot of they got some good players. I mean, we got to we understand we got to go compete, and that's what we've said many times: put a ball down and compete. And we certainly know that that'll be the case tomorrow night.
Looking forward to it. And as we finish up all of our broadcasts, we tell you the same thing. Don't watch our game. Don't watch the broadcast. Come out and see the game and pay these kids off. And I say that by come out and support them and get loud and get vocal. You may not be a fan of either team. Come out and watch some good football on there. Make the
Please.
trip right across
Yep.
there
Weather's
and
going to be
support.
great. It's going to
It's
be
gonna be
a
just
great
like
night.
this.
Yep,
It'll
it's going
be
to be a great night. Can't wait.
it'll be wonderful. It's one of the best matchups. There are two or three during a season that are real good community type games, and this is one of those. Nick, it's your no. You've been this your second Ash Pineville game that you've been to. Now you see that rivalry that's there.
Can I tell a little story about that? The jamboree last year. It won't take me long.
Yeah.
We're that's gonna wrap it up. But no, look, and Brett was going quick to the butt. Thank you for having my back on there. I know which story's coming, Nick, but go ahead, buddy.
So I get a text on Monday, the week before the jamboree. Didn't know I was going to be doing this. Thought I might have had a chance. Didn't know. He said, "Hey, we'll meet at Pineville at such and such time." I said, "Okay." So we worked through that, and then we get up there, and first thing he does, as soon as we go live, and coach, I'm like the freshman that's getting the spotlight right now, and he says, "So, Coach Nick, what's your keys to the game?" And I'm like,
It's a
"Oh
big
my
part for us.
gosh."
I mean, it's vital.
I said that was not in our pre-production meeting at all.
Awesome.
But
That's awesome.
but so by the time the second time I was at Pineville, because we did jamboree. So for the district game, we kind of worked all those bugs out.
That's right.
Coach,
That's right.
there's an opportunity that
You never quit working them out. That's the thing.
when these freshmen that come in, they play really well in 8th grade, and they've done it. They've been around football, haven't been around Ash football. That's all I did was just
Yeah.
he's been around coaching his whole life. I've got to pull this out of him. I can't carry him along.
That's right.
right.
That's
Hey,
right.
perform under pressure.
Sink or swim is what you
Perform under
gotta-
pressure.
And he's done a great job, Coach. As always, we appreciate you taking time. To the folks that have made it out here tonight, I don't know how. One thing I did tell them is that the guys have never paid as much attention to what's going on up here as they did when the cheerleaders were up here. So
It's funny. Yeah,
it's
funny how that works.
it's
Yep.
funny how that works, Coach. I know you're out for fall break. What does tomorrow? What does that do for you? What do you guys?
Usually, we'd be out on the field in the morning, during our athletic period right there at 7 o'clock. But we'll bring them in at 2 o'clock. We'll get all that stuff. We'll get a little light I would call it a practice because that's what it is. It's
Right.
just not a padded practice. We'll probably go for 45 minutes to an hour. We'll eat pregame meal and then, we'll kind of start settling in, but it won't be long. We'll start getting dressed and taped around 4:15 and
Do everything here and just travel over
yep,
there and get on the field.
probably won't head over there till I don't know 5:15. I don't want to be there any sooner than we have to be, but I don't want to be rushed for time. I mean, the thing we got to get the trailer over there and get
Right.
everything set up, and so it'll be a full day once the day gets rolling. Get in there early in the morning and get some time where you can kind of collect your thoughts and try and anticipate what's gonna all right what are some situations that could arise where all right we gotta
Let's address
what are
this
some
before.
issues that you're going to have to solve during the game? Just as much of that as you can get in the right frame of mind.
So you won't go in till about 2? Is that what you're telling me? That's not.
The players will be there too. Coaches
Right.
coaches will have to be there at noon, and it'll be a busy day.
Does that affect the chicken at lunch? Does that because
It's
it had been
coming.
a little before
Yeah,
noon
it's
in the
coming.
past? So with chocolate chip
Same
cookies.
time.
and
I'll
okay,
be there.
You'll be there. That's what.
So it'll be and most of the coaches we got great guys. They can't wait to get in there and get to work and get to competing and
Were they down here supporting Coach Ham, or were they making sure he didn't say anything he didn't need to?
Oh,
What?
there was support. There's complete trust in Coach Ham. I don't see it.
No, they down
There's
here
complete
did
trust.
such.
Yeah, it's support. Give him a hard time, whatever. The camaraderie that comes
Yep,
with
100%.
with just enjoying each other's company, and that's what we got. I'm gonna say it again. Trying to hire coaches or in the future, the biggest thing that I got to sell to them is the camaraderie of the staff. You got a bunch of guys that I believe love each other, and I think that's evidenced by the way that they work and the camaraderie is really really good and it's easy to do it. I guess right now when
Right.
everybody thinks that times are good, but boy, we've had our back against the wall
And everybody's been the same.
and it's been the same. So it's the best thing that we have going, and he's a great addition to that.
In addition to the couple others that you
Yep,
brought on
Kyle's
this year
been
too.
phenomenal. Coach Webb's been phenomenal. Yeah, Coach Wilk, really, really, really feel good. I mean, there's a couple years where we've had some really strong staffs, and kind of told them I hadn't felt this good about the quality of coach and man that we have in the
So I've
program.
got a lead for you. All right. He was sitting here on the show tonight, and Tanner was like, if I come back, that's how I'd be a coach like Coach Ham. He says because I know how the intensity is. He said, and that's what I would bring. So just saying, there's an opportunity.
A couple of years goes fast.
Oh gosh, yeah. When he said he was class of 19, I was like, oh God, that's been Told him he was getting old. We weren't. I did bring up a point, and I want to address it before we
Such a
get.
good team.
We're
Such a
really
good team.
good. I addressed one with Tanner. I guess it was in between the Acadiana scrimmage and the Jamboree. We were out there for a couple of the practices, and you really got after Tanner pretty good on there. And I asked him if he remembered. He says, "Oh, I remember those practices every year." He says it's because figuring out how we're going to respond to that, and are we going to get going on there, and what does that make you feel when these kids are receiving that for what it is?
Makes me really proud. Tanner's been I would say a warrior for us for a long time.
Right.
Certainly had some hard days where he's looking at me like you're insane, or all of us as
Right.
coaches. But all he's, the great thing about our kids, and I think Coach Webb, talking with these guys or whatever, is the kids want to be there. They
Right.
want to do the work. They want the information,
That's the
even when
difference.
it's
That's the difference.
it's a huge, and it makes showing up and wanting to give them everything that you can really really fun. And Tanner certainly uh I mean that's what he is. I mean he's been phenomenal for us and very proud. I mean glad that we still got a whole lot of football left where we get to coach him and he gets to perform. And I know he doesn't always sew up. You pull this thing up right here, and he scored last week, and you pull up maybe the box score, and it's like, oh, I didn't even see. I don't know.
Yeah,
The role that he played.
but you talk to him about it, and he knows what role he has.
Correct.
He says, "I'm like a sixth offensive lineman," and he lights up. He's smiling when he says that. And Nick, I know you recall how it is being a lineman. You just light up.
No, he certainly is, and I know you had Vaughn.
Vaughn's great.
Yes,
Oh
he
my
is
gosh, he's great.
phenomenal. Yeah. I know JT's got a lot of carries, and Vaughn certainly one that is a difference maker for us, and that you can't count out. And when JT comes out and gets a blow, and Vaughn's in there, we ain't changing a whole lot. We're
Nothing.
continuing to hammer away. Got
Yep.
a lot of belief in him too, and as we got a whole lot more football left to play,
Initiating contact
there'll be a whole lot.
is what he's a champ at.
There'll be a whole lot more that people hear and see from Vaughn.
Well, we're looking forward to it, guys. It has been an incredible evening. Rolled past the 8 o'clock hour, but we kind of started a couple of minutes late, so it's all right. That's the beauty of it. We don't roll into anything else from there. Less than 23 hours away until kickoff. Don't forget, pregame show starts at 6:30. We will be across the river at Pineville High School for a trip to the Rebels, and something. It's always when that caravan of of students and all that come across, and they're getting ready to turn in, they're honking the horns. It's just it's a sight to behold.
Yeah, it's a great stadium. I love the environment, and right there, it's a beautiful place, and excited about going and playing another high school football game.
There you have it, guys. It has been a tremendous night. We appreciate the folks at Walk-Ons for being as hospitable as they have been. The crowd that was inside, we certainly appreciate those folks, and everybody that made it out here. The ASH Trojan cheer, we appreciate them. Those young ladies coming out, and everybody that makes this possible. From my man Nick Magnano, Brett Stallsby over here in production, Coach Thomas Bachman, as always. Thank you. Enjoy your chicken and your chocolate chip cookies tomorrow, and let's go take care of business.
Absolutely.
Guys, that'll wrap it up. I am Doug Gann. God bless you all, and good night.